So good, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining Mazezoke this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining me. Let me play some music for us while we wait for everyone to join us. We are going to be having it. We'll be having two major conversations this evening. Many of you are asking me questions regarding my governor publicly saying that he's going to support President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I see nothing wrong in that. However, many of you have pointed out to his he's going to support President Ahmed Bola. Many of you are pointing out that he has started wearing Bola Tinubu's insignia. That is also a question of choice. Now, the second issue is the issue of comfort. The lady that was stripped naked by Ibom and the security operatives on the Akwa Ibom Lagos bound flight. And yesterday I was on a live, and my network sadly yanked me off. And I do believe today that my network would behave itself for that not to happen again today. Okay? So let's share this stream. And, for many of you in the comment section, if you would also want to join, you can also join and have your contributions. You could join, and there is a link there. Let me quickly get that link to be, um, pinned up here. Once that link is pinned up, let me quickly get that. The link here says you can join the conversation. You don't need anything. All you need is just to click on it because it's already a YouTube link, and it makes it easier for you to join me, right? So if you have anything to say on the topic that we're going to be discussing, the two topics, one is on the governor of Anambra State wearing Tinubu's cap in support, which many of you didn't find funny. If you want to join me and if you want to have that conversation with me, I would appreciate that. So if you look at the pinned message now, you will see how to join me. Then I can bring you up I can bring you up so that you can talk. If you want to join me. Okay, and I can also confirm that you can hear me loud and clear. So we will quickly start. Let me play a video for us. My governor endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a second term. He called him and he said that Tinubu is his friend. In this case, it is about friendship, and do not be angry with him. Every one of us has their reason. So, just as a disclaimer here, in case if you don't support him too, I know I supported him and I campaigned for him pro bono was it 2021? I think I campaigned for him. I think 2021, 2022, right? I campaigned for him. I mean, pro bono, because remember my argument then is that Ndibo, based on what was happening, we had the issue of IPOB, you had the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, we had the issue of the youths not obeying the elders. The Southeast was really in a mess. My view then was that the Southeast needed someone who could act as coordinating governor beyond the governors that we had then. Recall that we had Dave Omahi, we had Obiano, we had Rochas Okorocha that just left, and who were again Dave Umahi Enugu, and who had Ugwuanyi and the one in Abia, Ipazu. So four of them were leaving, and in my view, then my argument was that the Southeast needed a governor in the mode of M.I. Okpara to act as a prime minister and a coordinating governor. Recall that, during that, crisis in the Southeast, when the governors would come in, you know, you know, the young boys were on the streets. Recall when IPOB was doing what they were doing in the Southeast, when you had the massacre in Aba, when you had the killings in Mpo, when you had a lot of things were happening. And I felt personally, that's my view, I felt that we did not have, leaders who had the interest of the Southeast enough then. And, recall that I am still a member of Nzuko Munna. Nzuko Munna, in 2017, when Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, Nzuko Munna, organized by my deputy then, now Commissioner of Information in Anambra State, that is Dr. Law Mefo. He was my deputy as the president of Igbo. He was the brain behind, he was the one that coordinated it. Ifeanyi of blessed memory financed it. Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo with Professor Otomi led the delegation that visited Nnamdi Kanu then, and eventually when they came out, they made that famous statement. And thinking that, things were going to, we had people who are, put it proudly, Igbo sons and daughters. And my view then was that we needed someone in the mode of M.I. Okpara that could, galvanize the Igbo together, glue them together to stand up, not against the government of the Federation just for standing up sake, but to stand up to protect the interest of the Igbo, to protect the interest of the Southeast in Nigeria. Our youths, our young ones, we are running amok. We are running in riot. I mean, I don't know. There was no other civil way of supporting someone. And I say it, and I make bold to say, I have not discussed with Professor Soludo. I didn't discuss with him then for supporting him. Many of you saw it on this platform. I didn't, take permission from him to support him. I didn't take permission to campaign for him and to sell him to Anambra. But 3 years down the line, or 3.5 years down the line, the question that many of you have been asking me is, has he delivered? And I put that question to you. Has Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo delivered to you? Did we make a mistake then to push him to Anambra? I leave that question and that answer to you. Did I regret in 2021 to campaign and to push him to Anambra? Not one bit. I did not, and I am not having any form of regret for doing that, because I think and I thought that based on the things that I knew what happening from behind, based on conversations, recall that during the COVID period, when everybody sat at home with Governance Index, then Njenje Media Governance Index and Newsband, we had series of interviews that we had when we brought him Professor Soludo, Osita Chidoka, Nyanwodo, Tanko Yakasai, Professor Tommy, Britus Pogo, Yimka Odumakin, Ankyo Briggs. Who was it that we didn't bring to this platform to have interactions with, including him? So when you have interactions with people with good intention, that you need to galvanize the thinking elite into some sort of formidable think tank to come up with something that could help us as a nation and also as a region, right? But that is, as a preamble. Now, That's a foundation for this conversation. Please, 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 if you want to join me, there is a pinned message there. You can come in at any time and have a conversation with me, right? You can just come and share your thoughts, what you think about this. Then on a second plank, and also please like, share, and subscribe. I haven't been making that call, but I would want you to please like, share, and subscribe. And on a second note, also, I want us to think about this. Yesterday, like I said before, at the beginning of my program, yesterday I was having a program with us regarding the issue of comfort. The lady that her, dress was torn and her breast was all over the place. Two things here for the younger ones. You know, I had a conversation yesterday. Some people say, "Oh, we don't know that people cannot." Some people don't wear bra or because of medical reason. Ah, sorry, but I don't know. I don't know the medical doctors that are dishing out these things that young ones don't wear bra these days because the ladies, you know, you know, I don't know packaging. The ladies. Nakedness could have been covered a little bit if not that she didn't wear any bra, right? Even if they tore her whatever her shirt, then at least she should have worn a bra to cover her. I don't know, women. Please, if you're listening to me, make una dey try now, even to fly. I'm not saying you're going to go fight somebody on a plane, but I don't know. I'm trying to, without sounding vulgar, I'm trying to find a civilized way of saying this. Ladies, please, please, please. And I beg, they beg una. I know. Say me, I be old school, of course. Sorry, but please try as much as possible. Now the question is Ibom Air. Now people are demanding whether Ibom Air should, apologize to her for the things that they have done to her. Because now, I think moments ago, Njenje Media published an audio of someone who was in that same flight. And the account the individual is giving is quite different from what we are all listening to on a social media. So if you haven't watched that, you may go back and watch that and hear the account of someone else who sat in that plane who said, no, this is not actually what happened. This is what happened. I will come back to that. Now, let me go back again and start from the beginning. And from the beginning is that the governor of Anambra State visited President Bola Ahmed Tinubu today. No, I think that was yesterday, and had the following to say. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Here. The economy and so okay, on. Sorry. Issues about the nation, security, law and order, the economy, and so on and so forth. I just stopped by to say him, and it was quite very pleased to see the president such high spirit, high and hearty, seeing people and so on and so forth. I was quite a pleasant meeting. It's not for me to begin to discuss details of, if I go to see the president, I come out and begin to divulge to you what we discussed or not discussed. Okay. Well, these caps were produced even from the time the president visited Anambra State. And you saw all the billboards and all this stuff, proclaiming that progressives are working together. And subsequently, it's a fundamental idea that I believe very strongly, that all the political parties who profess progressivism should actually come on together in a massive coalition, to deepen the process not only of our democracy, but also of economic and social development of our country. And so for me, when I say progressives working together, it's a call for all those who call on that. And then talk about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I mean, I don't make any, I have no apologies about it. President Tinubu is my friend, has been my friend
22 years now. And counting. So he don't deny a friend. I begin to be quivery about who is. He's my friend. I support him. And I'm impressed by the bold steps he has taken, particularly in the areas of the economy, the structural reforms. And I have said so severally. We're taking the right step.
It's good to know that on purely, he addressed something actually. I think the reporter asked him about this picture. Let me quickly. A reporter asked him about this picture. You see this picture here that has Bola Tinubu's insignia, this picture here. The reporter asked him, how come you are putting on this cap? Whether this cap was given to you by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you see here, he's sitting with Bola Ahmed Tinubu here. That is the insignia of Bola Tinubu's cap. And you can see the same insignia on his own cap here, right? And he answered the question, answered, these were the caps that were produced when the president visited Anambra State in the last election. And on Twitter, it appears in Anambra State are not entirely happy. On Twitter, because I'm just, I'm a journalist, I'm just doing my bit. On Twitter, I saw this. Already, people are saying Soludo has sold, Soludo has sold out in the Anambra. I mean, so this is funny. So on Twitter, I saw this. I'm like, Habana, people, you guys are taking this too far. Shaking hands with Tinubu does not. Who didn't do it? Under Goodluck Jonathan, Peter Obi supported PDP. He was APCA. Under Obiano, second term, Obiano supported General Muhammadu Buhari. He was APCA. Under Soludo's first term, he had a presidential candidate, Umadi. He supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But in this case also, is now APC has a candidate. Maybe he's trying to, because somebody told me that I'm not in Anambra at the moment. Somebody told me that the candidate of the APC has really gone off the radar, not wanting to speak, that he has gone into the grassroots, permeating like kerosene into every nooks and crannies of Anambra State. Maybe he's being rattled, so he needs to get a reassurance from the president that, because if not, he must, the argument the people who say that he has sold out to Tinubu are making is that he must have promised Tinubu something that will make Tinubu to support him, not the APC candidate. Think about it. I don't know. But if you were Tinubu, would you say, like he said here, oh, I've known you for 22 years, therefore I'm going to support you? If you were Tinubu, would you say, no, my party must have an inroads in Anambra State because it is Peter Obi's hometown. I must win his state the same way he won my state. Understand? So could Tinubu be playing him karu? Could Tinubu be lying to Soludo? Or is Soludo trying to do everything to support, to win the heart of Tinubu? In winning the heart of Tinubu, or Tinubu supporting you means one thing in this sense, because if you leave it to Anambra, I can guarantee you, 2015 election, Anambra State gave the president 5%. He was mad. So where other states were, in 2019 election, other Southeast states were increasing their stake. Anambra try to give the president zero. Eventually, I think Anambra ended up with 3%. So Anambra no get joy. If Anambra doesn't like you, so for Tinubu, in the November election with Soludo, if Anambra doesn't want to vote Tinubu, whatever deal he has with Soludo is with Soludo alone. I can guarantee you that day, I couldn't laugh. In the last election, I was in my polling unit when it gets to voting, all the old women will come and tell you, come, come, my son, come. Nwam biadona, biadona. They will call you Nwam biadona. Will say, please, 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 my son, can you show me that place they have Mama Papa Pikin? You come because they will have 3 voting ballot papers. You say this is the Senate, Assembly, and Presidency. I say, as president, who do you want to vote? They will say, Biko, nde keselu Mama Papa Pikin. So you show them where there is Mama Papa Pikin. In the Senate, you now ask them, who do you want to vote? They say, please don't confuse me. Mama Papa Pikin na this one, Mama Papa Pikin na the other one. So in my polling unit, the old people who didn't understand, they were just showing, please, show me where there is Mama Papa Pikin. In those 3 ballot boxes, they do not care who is behind it, whether an Okada man or goat or chicken. They don't care. They don't want you to complicate their thinking. They just wanted Mama Papa Pikin. So you can imagine a people that want someone so dearly, suddenly you come and tell them, oh, you struck a deal with the presidency. They will just keep quiet. I mean, he's your friend. Of course, do well with him. But when it comes to voting, they will tell you, you know, there is an adage in my state that says when the oracle or the deity begins to give too much trouble, the community will come together and say, come on, this oracle, I beg, keep quiet. We know the type of wood with which you were made of. Now we carve you. Now we kill chicken, give you. Now we kill fowl, give you. Now we break kola nut on top of your head. So be coming down. Right? Please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Now, do you think that, do you support do you support Soludo supporting Tinubu? What do you think? Your take. If you want to have your say, please, you can click on the you look at the comment section, just click on that link there and come in. I will take you right away. I'll bring you in to have your say here. Let me see. Is anybody here? So just click on that quickly. I will bring you in here. Okay. Click on that. I will bring you in. So that is it. So, but honestly, people, I don't know what you think, but some of you are really picky about this. Some people are quite emotional with, from the things I've read on Twitter. It's been crazy. It's been really crazy when I read some of these things. Oh, some of you, the comment. Nah, calm down now. Some the type of comment you guys are writing on this place is quite funny. I think YouTube is withholding some of your comment. Shameless buffoon that could not provide security in the state with the. Okay, and when we come to Anambra State, there is something that is also happening in Anambra State, and the government is aware. Of course, Udogachi, needs some operational changes. And a couple of months now, the operation Udogachi that came out with her, we honestly, myself included, I had high hopes, but we still have some, security lapses here and there in the state of Anambra. We have some security lapses here and there, not yet fixed. So hopefully, as we get into before the election, the security will be fixed. Security is our collective job, please. If you see something, as the government would always say something. If you see anything that is very suspicious, I do understand. There was a time a friend called me from Lagos telling me, that in a particular location in Obosi, that they saw some unusual movement of people whom they think are men of the underworld are trying to move into this community with some motorcycles. I gave him the number to call. That is the 5111. You can call the number from any Nigerian telephone number. You'll be connected to someone in Oka. No, I'm saying where I have witnessed. So when they call this number, within seconds, somebody picked and they were able to log on, log this information that these movements were noticed in that area. I have never used that services. I have never called them, but I have recommended people that have called them. I'm just saying. Now, in that occasion, after 2 days, I called the person back to say, "Can you give me updates? What actually happened?" He said, "Yeah, they called and somebody took their contact, took the details. I asked them if they gave you any reference number, at least next time if you call, so that you can start, from there." What they told me that no reference number was given to them, but eventually it appears that the community was also eventually aware of the those individuals there, and they were eventually dispersed. Now, on the second occasion, when my cousin was kidnapped and his bank account wiped out for over 50 million in his bank account within a space of hours. Eventually, when he was released, because all the whole family was panicking, and when we have paid, some amount of money, this was early, this was January this year, right? Yeah, this was no, this was March, I think. No, Joe, hold on, January this year. Yeah. So I asked him to call the 5111 number. He called and said that someone picked the call and he has reported the case. But that is where he ended. All his money that was reported, even when he has gone to the DSS, the money was an electronic transfer till date. Not to Dogachi, not to the police, not to the DSS. Nobody helped in recovering one kobo from that money that was taken from his account on bank transfer. How do you explain that? Now, I would think that for us to have a comprehensive security in a state, that if you're kidnapped and money was paid through electronic means, that the state should have interest in seeing that the victim, aside the money that we the family paid for his release, that the state should have interest in seeing that we get some money back. Sadly, that was not the case. I'm saying this honestly. Sadly, this was not the case. So there are areas that I think we could improve. If you ask me, one of the areas in terms of security that Anambra State must and should improve on is, closing the loop. It's not enough to barge into somewhere, get people arrested. We must also do and help fundamentally to help in investigation, closing the loop. We have native doctors that were arrested. One of the suggestions that I made to the governor through the right channel was to make sure that every single effing okite that was recovered must be tested for human remains. The reason why I say that is that, listen, when people say that they kidnap you, they kill you for organ harvesting, that is bullshit. There is nothing like organ harvesting, because the people that are making the killing, they have zero understanding of how to preserve a heart, how to preserve a kidney for transplant. That's not the reason. The reason why individuals are kidnapped in the bushes, hacked to death before their organs are harvested, that means if an individual is already dead, the organs are also dead. It's not for organ transplant, rather for diabolic means. Therefore, it is all these native doctors littered everywhere that promises quick money. Those are the people using and utilizing those organs. The state, in this sense, must find a way to ensure that all these useless remnants of Okite littered in their shrines, collected and samples taken for human remains. But sadly again, the conversations last month I had with some of them in Oka, whereas I will not reveal it, but didn't give me the confidence that which I was requesting is eventually going to happen. It breaks me. Oh, lack of the expertise, lack of this, lack of that. Oh, there is no way to differentiate um, animal remains and human remains. So, are you effing serious? If we really want to convict these individuals, this is blank what we should do. No if, no buts, but we must get to the real issues here, right? Again, if you want to join me, please, in the comment section is the link to click on it. You come in and you have your say. So, if we leave Anambra State and we come to the Ibom Air Saga, the Ibom Air Saga, a couple of individuals have lent their voice in that. One of them is Fayoshe's younger brother, who has said something about this. However, before then is that, you know, there is something with the APC. For some reason, when this girl's nude came out, when her top was torn and her breast was all over the place, sadly, those that were sharing it appears to be those with cons in their pockets. One of them is an old man. If you look, or Moba or whatever, look at what they've now gone to her Instagram account and started playing some of these videos. Look at the names at the top there. They started playing some of these videos. And I'm wondering if while it twofold here, why this girl can be rude, while she was slapping the other person from one camera angle, while he was doing whatever she was doing. But imagine for 1 second if that were to be your daughter, if that was to be your sister, would you do the same? I mean, where is our common sense in some of these things that sometimes people react out of impulse because they want to defend the government? Suddenly, you read the story of that she was banned for life, which NCAA has the only body with that authority to ban or not to ban has come out to say no, we have not banned her for life. They are even reviewing to see because they've seen the public outcry since the real videos of where she placed her own camera and the other air hostess were just blocking her people. And this is my message to us Nigerians. Look, I fly on international routes. If whenever our flight takes off, 30 minutes off the air, if I'm on a BA, you can pay. You pay about £4.99 for 1 hour. If you want to, for 1 hour, listen, look, on my way to Hamburg about 2 weeks ago, look here, £4.99. That's what I pay. In flight, if you think you cannot wait, you want to check your WhatsApp or whatever, you pay. But because on that one, because I've used my Avios, I've maxed my Avios. But before then, on my Ethiopian route, the other day I was in Addis Ababa, I used my Shaba miles to pay. If I'm on Lufthansa, I use my miles and more. In this one, I use my BA miles. So you connect to internet and you are chatting as if, you send photo, you do this, you do even my kids. While I was already on the air, when I took photo in my cabin and I shared with my kids that daddy is on his way to the States. So that's how this world works. So this notion, shut down your telephone, power it down. On Abuja to Enugu route, one woman was nearly cussing me out because I pulled my phone like this and I turned the aeroplane mode. It is there for a flight. It's called flight mode. It is there. It is in the name. What it does, it turns off the Bluetooth, the frequencies, whatever, all the signals. It turns it off. If the two parties involved were not a question of, if it was not a question of ego and ignorance, we won't have all this. You told someone, turn your telephone off. He says, okay, ma, I have turned it, I put it on flight mode. He said, no, you must turn it off. And in the course of the argument, the narrative is that she took the phone and smacked it on the floor, which probably would then explain why the girl now went bazooka and went bananas, right? So, in all that altercation, when she now wanted to leave the aircraft, we can now see where she was being blocked, right? Where is it again? We can now see where she was being blocked from the aircraft, and it appears that she, kind of wind her up. The other people videoed, but what she herself, look at this. That's the girl here. See here. You see? Madam, I don't see well now. I want to go out, and here hostess is standing on the way. So at this point, this woman, girl, all the same, she's now saying to herself, I want to go out. This lady. So eventually there was an altercation, and the rest is history. Her clothes was torn, her kiniko was flying all over the place. So now the third party, remember the first video, she had long sleeve white. So the altercation has gone to a place that long sleeve has already left her body. Maybe now she don't pull shirt. She wanted to fight. She now begins smacking. Look at this. What did you do? What did you do on me? She's beating me. She is beating me. She's beating me. Okay. So here, I think a couple of things here. I think Nigerians are now demanding that Ibom should apologize to her. I think if I'm that girl, irrespective of what may have happened before, I will sue them. The reason why I will sue Ibom is because they posted her nude that they took. They took the videos, they posted it. So this job is for DSS and others too. I mean, I think when my staff asked me if they will publish the audio that was sent to us, I said yes, they have to, and let them try to use the video. But on that place that her nude came out, they must blur it because that's what you do professionally. Those that expose that should be punished, to be honest with you, because there is no need, because that will live in the internet space. Even her grandchildren will see their grandmom's nude in the public. That's so unprofessional. If I'm in her shoes, I will sue Ibon honestly, because they shouldn't have done that. Because the issue is that um, if I speak honestly here, I see a gap. I see a gap in training. We must not turn ourselves into law enforcement officers. What the if she broke the law, what they should have done is to radio the airport before the plane lands. The moment the plane lands, they would have given a clear description of who she is, her name, and what she wore. The moment she comes down, it is not the job of the air hostess to block, smack, throw phone. No. Allow that job with the NCAA fan, the police, or the paramilitary at the airport. It is not the job of the air crew. So, even air peace, and many of you, you must train your staff, train, retrain. They must understand what it takes. They must understand the limitation of their job. They must understand what they can do and what they cannot do. As to the paparazzis that were videoing, una video, una no even say that place where her breast don't bust, make una cut them off. Or if you don't know how to blow, cut them off. You just put them like that. Mbagam. Haba. Were you, in fact, the way if you ask me, it appears that is a collabo between the person that went to go and tour and the person that went to go and video. Prove me wrong if it is not a collabo. It is a collabo of the perverse. So basically, beyond just shaming her, to also expose her the content of what bra cannot hold, because that is what it is. It is as simple as that. There is no if, there is no but. But hey, waiting I know. Waiting I know. So I think if you ask me, two things in my shoes, I will sue. Two, the airlines must begin to train their staff properly. This kind of thing should not be condoned. If you must also take her to Kirikiri, recall that Wasiu, the musician, stopped a whole aeroplane. A whole aeroplane. This nation is people they crave for this nation. Somebody, he go stop, even stop keke, you go stop a whole aeroplane. We say if the engine suck you in, self, you go grind you like pepper. Eh? So you go stop a whole aeroplane. But hey, you see the one way vest people. Abike Dabiri went now and published when Abike Dabiri now said, "Oh, he has apologized." Let me pull that out. If you read, I no go take my mouth to read them. If you now go and read what Nigerians the way Nigerians were really responding to Abike as the mouthpiece, they say if with certain people who are stranded somewhere now, you'll be calling them out. You'll be saying this person is this person. Eh? But now he reached this one. Instead of you to keep quiet, you went and because if it's certain people, he would say it's not within my job. Look at Abike here. Look at the post she made. This is Kwamwan here. His apology. On the 5th of August, 2025, at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport local wing, while about to board aircraft from Abuja to Lagos. The incident is highly regrettable because I have contributed the better part of my life in the past 50 years to the growth and development of Nigeria, my country, art and culture, both in and out of the country. I've been a good ambassador of this great nation. So, you see, after in very many ways, after he made this appeal, everything was, everything was forgiven. All her sins was forgiven. But trust Nigerians, they're not a forgiver. They reminded her of Amaka when she wrote this. This is, remember this person, the lady in Canada who said she was going to poison the food of Edo people when she was triggered on TikTok space, right? People are now reminding her when she said this is the picture of the lady behind the voice note. Amaka Patience Sonderberg. She has deleted her TikTok account, and a group of Nigerians in Canada are reporting her officially to the relevant authorities in Canada. Thank you for alerting everyone. Mhm. So if you go, in fact, it's good. It's good. It's good. Look, it's good to go through her this thing, and you read funny tweet. However, just like I said, there is also a lawyer who creates content who has been able to, say some of these things that I've said here before. Yesterday, I introduced the concept of qualms because Wasiu was named Quam 1. So we are naming Comfort Quam 2. We don't know who Quam 3 is going to be because Quam 0 is Adam Soshomole as a sitting senator who also blocked AP's check-in counter because he missed his flight. Quam 0 is APC. Quam 1 is APC. Both of them, nothing happened to them. Maybe because they are connected. Oh, I forgot. In the words of Oshomole, if you are associated and join the APC, your sins will be forgiven. Of course, their sins were forgiven. We don't hear anything. He reached Quam 2 because she's not part of the APC. With her age and where she's coming from, I believe Akwa Ibom, you know where where her political allegiance could lie. Because of that now, Abba, she must go to jail, she must go to Kirikiri, she must be thrown into whatever. After all, she doesn't want to turn her telephone off. Don't you know the president could be passing? Do you want our plane to go and jam the Okada of the president with this your Karo of Kwebon Air? The president just bought how many billion naira aircraft? You want to go and scratch it up air? Is they crazy? Is they mad? It could be, I don't know. But now, hear this lawyer.
Proceeded to board an aircraft with a flask containing a controversial liquid. Water to him, alcohol to the cabin crew. Cabin crew refused Adifowoshe from boarding. Adifowoshe would not take it. He attempted to stop a whole aeroplane. Pilot was like, "What do you mean? Attempted to take off." Street credibility saves Adifowoshe's life. What does the law say on carriage of liquids, aerosols, and gels on an aircraft? It must be contained in a container not bigger than 100 ml, which must then be put in a transparent plastic bag that must be submitted for screening and approval of cabin crew. Section 45 into 1, Civil Aviation Act of 2022. Every person attempting to board an aircraft or in an aerodrome must submit himself and his baggage to the cabin crew for screening and approval. Failure, a fine of at least 500K. Section 75 of the Civil Aviation Act 2022, same act, trespass on aerodrome. Anybody while boarding an aircraft or in an aerodrome is anywhere designed for the takeoff, departure, movement of an aircraft. Anybody that trespasses in that area is a fine of at least 500K or at least 6 months imprisonment or both. Now, anybody that attempts or seizes or exercises control of an aircraft using intimidation or threat, or the threat is even believable, you just threaten to do it and it sounds believable, you commit an offense called hijacking under Section 83 of the Civil Aviation Act of 2022. And the punishment is very simple. If guilty, liable to at least 25 million fine and life imprisonment. If you don't believe me, go and watch Hijack 93 on Netflix and come back. This also includes accomplices.
So in this case, if we go by this internet legal lawyer, does it mean that Quam 1? Does it mean that Quam 1 was guilty of hijacking? Because trying to stop an aeroplane from moving is it's. I mean, I don't know what else you can. I don't know what else you can call that. It is equivalent to. Hmm? So I don't know what else you call that one. But to the question at hand now, to the question at hand on this Ibom Air, here is another brilliant take. Because in this case, he calls it the air hostess and the prewinkle body. The reason why I called it a prewinkle body, because it's only a body that will want to fly in that altitude without any form of protection. You get what I mean? You get it? It's only a prewinkle body that will want to travel in that long altitude without any form of protection. Okay, so let's go ahead here.
Periwinkle body. Daddy bought a flight from a state to another. Cabin crew said, put off your phone. Buddy says, no, I will do airplane mode instead. Somebody snatches the phone of Buddy and switches it off. Buddy will not take it. Young pepper scatter. Upon landing, air hostess restrains Buddy on the aircraft for security operatives to be able to come and undo and undo her. As Buddy was being bundled by security operatives from the plane, somebody intentionally or otherwise pulled the top of Buddy and her bosoms were exposed. Upon touchdown, Buddy did not stop. Buddy kept serving a buffet of slaps to people on site. Somebody records the entire incident and posts the video on the internet. What does the law say? First and foremost, a popular Afrobeat philosopher says, animals day in human form. Another philosopher says, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the others.
One.
Digress. Offenses by body. Assault of persons while resisting arrest. That is to say, they want to arrest you and you're now assaulting people. 3 years imprisonment. Section 356 of the Criminal Code. Assault or interference of cabin crew member or failure to listen to instruction of cabin crew or using a mobile device, phone or anything that can have issues with the navigation technique of that aircraft. You commit an offense, 200K fine or at least 2 months imprisonment. Section 95 of the Civil Aviation Act 2022. Now, offenses against body. Despite all this, body has been placed on a life ban. What does the law say? First things first, Section 34, 1999 Constitution. Every Nigerian citizen has a right to dignity of human person. Whoever posted that video on the internet violates that right. And it is called posting pornographic content. Some of you will go and argue now, but don't forget that the person had a chance to cut out or edit or nearly not post that part that has a bosoms for public consumption. Any biologically intact person knows that bosoms are not for public consumption. By this, you commit an offense, Mr. Poster, and it is under Section 24, Cybercrime Act, a fine of not more than 7 million naira or 3 years imprisonment, 2 portions of rice. You already know where. Now, if the person that pulled that did it intentionally, Section 360 of the Criminal Code, any person who unlawfully or indecently assault a woman or a girl, 2 years imprisonment is a misdemeanor. Finally, life ban. Section 35, 1999 Constitution. Every Nigerian has a right to personal liberty, which will never be deprived, save and except for procedures permitted by law. If you place body on temporary suspension, pending investigation, conclusion, understandable. But life ban as a citizen from our own country, only a court of law should be able and can do that. I am just an interpreter of the law. What does the law say?
Okay. So, like I said before, what does the law say? I think this is a case where I believe we'll have lawyers, especially from that area, that will be willing to come and defend the body. In this case, body called body comfort, right? Not that after defending body comfort, you go for comforting. No, you defend body comfort. You put your comfort face and you focus and you comfort your home, you go home. Do not defend body comfort and want any form of comfort. You get it? I hope you get it. Okay, so final analysis here. If I'm body comfort, I would sue the airline for indecently exposing my videos. I will sue the airline and they must interpret what it means to be on airplane mode. Unless, if airplane mode works in every other countries but doesn't work in Nigeria, they must tell us. What is the meaning of, anyway, in Nigeria, we must know not everything that is developed and works in every country works in Nigeria. In Nigeria, other places you say, when you get to that junction, you take your corner. In our place, we say you get there, you take bending corner. Other places they will say either you have a knicker or you have a short. No, in our place we say is a shuttle knicker. So all these things, because we have to Nigerianize some of these laws, and the Nigerianizing some of these laws leads into confusion. Airplane mode. You guys reach Nigeria, will say airplane mode means turn your phone. If it's a Nokia, if it's an Apple, let the logo go off. But hey, what do I know? 2027 is here. November, my state of Anambra will have election. The governor and the governing party has already endorsed Tinubu for presidency 2027. That is 2 years ahead of time. And in Anambra, some people are saying, there is nothing you can do about it. But wait till 2027, you can do something about it. But for now, nothing you can do about it. That's Mazes, okay. Thank you very much for joining me on this late night conversation with you. Inshallah, we shall see ourselves tomorrow. Good night from this part of the world. Bye for now. I am Maz.